Oh, I know you're super excited about it. That's right. Coming October 1st to Netflix, all 9 seasons. Get this, 180 episodes are going to be available, so you can start from the very beginning and watch Seinfeld until we ring in the new year. Oh my gosh, 9 seasons, 180 episodes. I mean, isn't technology grand in streaming? I mean, I was thinking of this bit from Seinfeld this morning when, there's this new shtick with scam calls, and the person starts out by saying, "Hello, this is a recorded line." Well, from Seinfeld, here's the bit. Jerry says, he gets a call, and he says, "I'm sorry, this is not a good time." And then the telemarketer says, "Well, when would be a good time to call you back, sir?" And then Jerry says, "I have an idea. Why don't you give me your home phone number, and then I'll call you back later." And then the telemarketer says, "Oh, we're not allowed to do that." Seinfeld says, "Okay, I guess because you don't want strangers calling you at home." And the telemarketer says, "No." And then Jerry says, "Well, now you know how I feel." Yes, those robocalls, the vehicle warranty. It's just some of the things that we talk about here on the nation's most trusted show about all things digital. It's the biggest show. We talk about living the best digital life ever. And it's called The Kim Komando Show because I'm America's beloved digital goddess here with you once again. And you can find The Kim Komando Show on 420 top stations from coast to coast and in your radio streaming app. And also you can find us streaming whenever you want as a podcast, as a webcast over at getkim.com. And you can also catch us on the American Forces Network radio. Serves more than 370,000 American servicemen and women in 175 countries, 200 ships at sea. Get the Kim Komando Show. I just love that. And I'm sure you have at least a few questions about something digital I can lend a hand to. And our T-Mobile Unlimited listener line is now open at 1-888-825-5254. And I did the math, okay? A single episode of Seinfeld is 22 minutes. Okay, so if you do 22 times 180, then you get about 4,000 minutes or 67 straight hours of Seinfeld. Ooh, yeah, I know. You're impressed. I did some really complicated math right there. All right, let's get started with 5 things that you need to know about tech. It's happening right now. And if you've opened Facebook over the past few days, you may have noticed something strange. What's going on? Not so many political posts. Not an accident. This past week, Facebook confirmed that it would be reducing the amount of political content showing up on our news feeds. And that they say that was after following months and months of testing. So why now, you might ask? Well, a Facebook spokesperson told Engadget that the changes are in response to common feedback from their community about too much political content. All right, total PR speak right there. Okay. See, here's what's happening really on Facebook is that it's totally changing because, it's no longer a place where you just go see what your family's doing or you go and look at pictures of your old high school friends to confirm that you don't look old, but they really do. Facebook is just rampant with misinformation. People on both sides of the political spectrums, the virus spectrum, you name it. And it's too soon to tell if that maybe it's going to make a difference because the people that are spending time on Facebook, they're actually spending less time. So Facebook is trying to spin this as like they're trying to help us out when really they're losing money. And by the way, I heard that Facebook is hiring, but there's no need to send in your resume. They already have all your details. All right, number 2, no keys, no driver's license. No problem. Apple wants to be your iPhone with your key to everything. I'm talking about your car, your house, your credit cards, boarding passes, and now your driver's license. iOS 15 is going to be released later this month, and with it, the ability to keep a digital version of your driver's license in your Apple Wallet. Depending on where you live right now, it's just 8 states. Arizona and Georgia are the only states making the option available at first, and then the other states to follow: Connecticut, Iowa, Kentucky, Maryland, Oklahoma, and then Utah. And of course, there are some states that do allow you to have a digital version of your license, but this is the first time it's actually going to be part of an operating system, part of an encryption routine, and stored exactly in your phone. Now, you'll be able to also tap your iPhone or your Apple Watch against some kind of identity reader at the airport, too. And those are at the TSA checkpoints to verify who you are. And last time I was at the airport, I asked a TSA agent how often they find suspicious items in bags. And the guy told me it's on a case-by-case basis. Thank you. Number 3, get ready for the fastest car on the planet. After years of promises from Elon Musk, the next-gen Tesla Roadster is coming. It's a 4-seat coupe. I don't know if you've seen it. It's beautiful. A removable glass roof, 3 electric motors, and a battery with a 620-mile range. Then there's the part about being the fastest car. Listen to this. It can go from 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds. The cost, $200,000. Wow, a lot of money. A Ferrari's fastest is more than 2 seconds to get from 0 to 60. So where is it, and how come we can't buy it yet? It was supposed to be here by then. Well, then they say with Tesla it was COVID, production delays, and now Musk says it's going to be here in 2023, 2 years from now. It's a long wait, but maybe it's a blessing in disguise, because maybe Tesla can finally get those autopilot issues worked out. Just a few days ago, the NHTSA identified a 12th crash involving Teslas using advanced driver assistance systems. This time, a Tesla in autopilot mode hit a Florida State Trooper's vehicle that was parked on the side of the road assisting another driver. How is that even possible? I mean, like, was it aiming for the car? Just remember, you can always tell when a Tesla has autopilot activated. The turn signals is a dead giveaway. I know. Number 4, the OnlyFans formerly known as Twitter. What's going on? That's right. Twitter has a new feature called Superfollows. Of course, that sounds really good, doesn't it? What should we call it? Let's call it Superfollows. Gives certain content creators the ability to offer content behind a paywall on Twitter. That's right. And so this way they can charge $3, $5, or $10 a month, as long as that you meet certain criteria. You have to be at least 18 years old, have 10,000 followers, and have tweeted 25 times in the past month. And if you qualify for the super follow status, you get a special pink badge on your profile. If anybody's listening on Twitter, I have filled out that form, I don't know, countless times, at least 6 times, to give me that verified blue check mark. I can't even get that, and you're able to do something like this. I don't understand. Twitter accounts will be able to keep up to 97% of the subscription fees, up to $50,000, and then 8% past that. You know, some of these big Twitter accounts are going to make some big money. Right now, it's just available, they say, to a select group of users. The question is whether Superfollows will be a success. If we look at Twitter's history, okay, they had Vine. What happened to that? They had Periscope. Ooh, not really sure where that went either. It seems like when the going gets tough, Twitter top dogs are always quick to retweet. Finally, number 5, the rise of the Grandfluencers. All right. I want you to listen closely to this story if you are over the age of 65. Listen very, very closely. If you have anybody in your family who's over the age of 65, listen very closely. When you think of social media influencers, what do you think of? Oh, I'm an Instagram model. Yes. Okay. Or a fitness buff or somebody like that. Well, there's a new trend. The Associated Press recently highlighted a growing number of what we're calling Grandfluencers. That's right. These are social media influencers who are 70 years old or older. Like this woman, Joan McDonald. I love this. 4 years ago, she was overweight, 71. She had high cholesterol, high blood pressure, kidney issues, and was taking countless medications. Then her daughter, who happens to be a fitness coach, says, "Hey, Mom, we got to turn this around." Now at 75, Joan, let me tell you, she looks like a bodybuilder, and she has 1.4 million Instagram followers. Now, how does that translate into money? She probably is getting like $10,000 a post. Then there's 78-year-old Legetta Wayne, otherwise known as @Ms. Grandma's Garden on TikTok. And she tends to her garden. She cooks her vegetables to more than 100,000 followers. Now, these Grandfluencers are followed by people of all ages, which just goes to show you you're never too old until that one day you realize that your back goes out more often than you do. And our T-Mobile Unlimited listener line is now open at 1-888-825-5254 is the way to join us. And hey, listen, we have this fabulous newsletter called The Current Newsletter. And if you haven't checked it out, it's my baby, it's my puppy. I think you're going to love it. It only comes out twice a week. And it's brand new, fresh content that you don't see on the site or any other newsletter that's on the planet except for thecurrentnewsletter.com. See a sample, sign up now. thecurrentnewsletter.com. All right, how about we start this show with Marcy in beautiful Mission, Texas. Hi there, Marcy.
Hello, Kim. How are you?
I'm fantastic. So happy to hear from you today. How can I help you out?
Well, I'm trying to save some of my intellectual property I've saved on my work computer. I'm retiring this week from a college in South Texas, and I called my IT genius at the college, and the young man told me the best way to save some of my documents on my desktop at work was to use a USB file by file. I said, oh my God, that'll take forever. And then he mentioned an external hard drive, and I thought, well, I don't know if that's the best solution either. And that's when I sent you a question to see what would be the best solution to saving some of my files I'd like to keep with me.
All right. So Marcy, what exactly are the files? And how many do you have?
Oh, well, my God, right now on the computer, there are 5. What I've done, I've been there 22 years, Kim, and I've built courses and Blackboard and stuff. I've built courses and things and student essays and stuff that I've kept, and I would just like to keep some of those things because I don't know if I'll use them in the future, but I didn't know what was the best way to do that.
Well, I'll tell you, a couple of ways that you can do it is that, for example, you could just transfer all those files up into the cloud. You have 5,000. You have 5,000 files. It sounds like it's a lot, but it's really not. So, in addition to an external hard drive, which isn't a bad idea, is that you could probably use a thumb drive and make duplicate copies too. So just in case, and then you could take the thumb drive back to your house. It's totally up to you how you want to do it. If 5,000 files is probably, maybe, it depends what they are, but I'm just guessing like 30 gigs. And so if we just say we're going to double that just for giggles to make sure that we don't miss anything, that would be a 64 gig thumb drive. So you just put that bad boy into the computer's USB drive, and then you just drag and drop those files right over. A 64 gig thumb drive is about $15. Okay.
Yeah.
So, so then so we're not dealing with a hard drive or whatever. I don't think you need a really big external hard drive. So you just use a couple, download into a thumb drive, and then I would make 2 copies just to be on the safe side. And then you're good to go. But let me ask you a question. What is the difference between USA and USB? You know that, Marcy? USA to USB. You were an educator. No, it's not
USB?
Yes, the difference between USA and USB is one connects to your devices and gathers all your personal data, and the other one is an industry standard. Yes. Thanks for your call today, Marcy, and congratulations on the retirement. And maybe you want to be one of those Grandfluencers I talked about. All right, if you have an Android, your photos may disappear without knowledge, without you even thinking about it in just a few weeks, especially if you are the person who is backing up your photos using the Samsung Cloud. That's right. The service is actually merging with Google. It's being shut down, which could erase all your data if you don't save your library right now. So don't wait until the deadline, they say at the end of this month, because Samsung says, we just might start deleting the data before that cutoff date. Now, over at Komando.com, we have all the tips that you need to transfer your data from the Samsung Cloud to another cloud drive. And to get that, just head over to Komando.com. And at the top of the page, there's a link that says Kim Show. And keep in mind that, you can get the show as a podcast, as a webcast. Just a quick reminder, if you're listening to the show gets interrupted for whatever the reason, you can always catch all 3 hours at this special address. That's getkim.com. Once again, getkim.com. Stay right where you are. Coming up, we're going to give you some tips on how you can set up your financial accounts as if you were to get hacked. So this way, you never get taken here on the Kim Komando Show. All right, so at dinner, I casually mentioned once that I would like to go hiking in Patagonia. And then suddenly on my phone, I start seeing ads for Patagonia. I'm like, oh, what was that about? Okay. So you might be thinking that your device is listening. Well, how do you really know? Well, last year's iOS 14 brought up some new privacy features to iPhones, and you may have seen them. It's a tiny dot in the upper right screen. If you see an orange dot, that means that your mic is on. A green dot means that the mic and the camera is on. Now, if you see any of these on and you're like, what the heck's that going on, is that you look at your apps and you check all your permissions. But speaking of apps, You probably have a ton of apps on your phone that you never even use. Okay, you downloaded them once, you fired them up a few times. Just remove them already. I mean, you don't know what kind of data it's collecting. Android phones, they don't have this native feature like the iPhones, but they do have a third-party app that you can use called Access Dots that shows you when the phone's mic and camera are in use. And we've got more information about both, of course, over at Komando.com. And in just a few moments, I want you to set up your accounts as if you were going to be hacked. And before we get to that, Stephen in Saginaw, Michigan. Hi there, Stephen.
Kim, hello. Thank you very much for taking my call.
Oh, you betcha. How can I lend a hand?
Well, Kim, my wife and I are at a point in our parental careers here where our daughter is entering high school, and we are considering purchasing her her first smartphone.
Wait, whoa, really? Honest?
Yes. Honest.
How did you get away with that?
Well, it was tough, let me tell you. Many young people in grade school and junior high have had phones for many years,
right.
So it was tough.
Okay.
It was tough. But we made it, right?
Yes.
But now, entering high school, her teachers are using these devices for whatever reasons in their classes and so forth. So we're considering purchasing her one. And, eventually we knew, technology is something you can't avoid forever. And
right.
to be successful, right, you need to. So we're looking for some sort of parental controls to put on the phone. And I've done some research, and I've seen some things. I've seen some negative things on certain apps and so forth. So I wanted to contact you and ask your opinion on what you would recommend if you had any ideas on what we could do.
Well, it's a common question. I have to tell you, when this happens in my family, everybody comes to me, right? It's like, okay, what do I do now? Okay. And you've got all kinds of options, right? I mean, anything from the good old standard like Net Nanny, you got Custodio, you got Bark, you can put a spying program on there, and all across the board. But I'll tell you what I'm really impressed with, and it has taken them since 2007 to perfect it. I mean, but I think it's finally here, is that Apple has done it. Okay, they have given decent parental controls for once on an iPhone, an iOS, and where you can keep track of the usage. You can set screen time limits. You can take time away. There's something called downtime. You can choose which apps that they use. You can make sure that she doesn't download any other apps. You can decide who they can talk to. You can make sure that what they see is appropriate. You can create app limits. So, what's going to happen is that she's going to want TikTok or Snapchat. You know that. Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
So you can set it up so that this way she can only use it for certain times of the day, or just maybe 15 minutes a day, or whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. But what I like about it is that it's built into the operating system. So we're not putting a third party on it where somebody can get around it, right? So mm-hmm. But it's taken them this long to do it. Right? I mean, think about that. Since 2007, we've been clamoring for parental controls on an iPhone. Okay.
Well, right.
And now it's finally here. And I would feel safe in recommending to you that you get your daughter an iPhone SE, whatever it may be. Don't buy it this week. Wait until, if you can, after September 13th, 14th. And the reason why is that there's going to be new iPhones that are announced. And so,
oh, nice.
So every time that new iPhones come out, is that the older ones get like a 17 to 23% drop in price. So if you can hold off just 2 more weeks, then you'll be able to get her an iPhone 12 instead of the 13. And then she'll, with a little phone, she doesn't have big hands, and so all that stuff that you take into consideration, and then in addition to that, you guys are, if you're on iPhones and you have Find My Friends, so you can see exactly where she is. I mean, it's just built all into it right now. Now, if you're on Android, are you on Android?
No, we are iPhone users.
Okay, good. I was going to say, if you're on Android, we don't have that. That's not a possibility. So that's where we're going to start looking at third-party apps. So if you go to apple.com/family, is that's where you'll see all the parental controls that are built into the iOS. That, they don't really promote this. They really should. And I know somebody right now is saying, you're just talking about Apple because they're a sponsor of your show. Okay. I wish they were a sponsor. I think that they should be a sponsor. So if you know anybody in Cupertino, send them my way, please. I'd love to have them as a sponsor. But if you're on Android, that's where you have to look at some of those third-party applications that, as you said, there's a lot of pluses and minuses. And it works with one version of Android, doesn't work so well with the next version when it comes out. And it's just all nicely integrated, tightly bound right into the operating system right now, which, it took them a long time to get to that, but they really are. So learn more over at apple.com/family. All right, it's time now for our security tip. And Stephen, thank you for your call and your trust in me. This week is brought to you by Total AV, $4.2 billion. That's with a B. That's how much money Americans lost last year to internet crimes. That's according to the FBI. Now, a good chunk of that was through phishing schemes, data breaches, identity theft. And phishing scams often involve these malicious links because they pretend to be from someone you trust. Maybe it's a big company. Maybe it's your bank. Maybe it's a family member or a close friend. And you might think, that you're savvy enough to spot them. But let me tell you, all it takes is just one mistake. That's it, just one wrong click, and then you're going to lose it all. So having security in place to detect malicious links and stop them before you're compromised is something that you just can't afford to skimp on. Total AV's Safe Site browser extension detects and blocks these dangerous sites automatically. So you always know that you are entering your private data on the right site, on a safe site. Their award-winning antivirus security suite offers complete protection with built-in adware, ransomware, and malware protection. And you can protect up to 5 devices on a single account. That's Windows, Mac OS, iOS, and Android devices. And right now, you can get an annual plan for those 5 devices for just $19. Wow. Okay. This is a deal. This is a bargain. But you have to go to this address, protectwithkim.com. Over 85% off the regular price. Again, that address is protectwithkim.com. Once again, protectwithkim.com. Do it now while you're thinking about it. Protectwithkim.com. All right, this week's security tip, I thought it would be kind of fun for us to talk about your bank accounts. Because I know so many of you, almost all of us now, are doing our banking online. And, it's one of the most important things that you might have. I mean, this is your whole savings, your retirement, you name it. Maybe it's your investment account, whatever it is that you need to make sure that it's totally, totally locked down. So we're going to start at the beginning. I know it's kind of boring. Get a strong password. I know you're sitting there going, I know I shouldn't use password or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so you want to use random numbers, make them unique. You need at least 12 characters in your password. And so we'll tell you how to come up with a password that you can remember so you don't have to write it down, but make it really hard to guess. Next up is two-factor authentication. If you haven't set this up, we're going to tell you how to do it on your bank accounts, on Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Citibank, and others. Number 3 is secure devices. Okay, what does this mean? You've heard me talk about this, where, if you're going to be using a laptop to do your financials or even your desktop, is that you want to use 2. One just to use your banking stuff, and the other one is that where you're going to go ahead and get your email, surf the web, use Facebook, whatever you want to do, you're going to do it over there, eBay, but you're going to stick over here and you're just going to use your bank accounts and do things like that. We have some picks for you, anything from $150 Chromebook to some bona fide laptops. And then we also have the laptop finder quiz that you don't want to miss. Number 4, you can be dishonest every once in a while. This is where I want you to lie on your security questions. We're going to tell you how to set up alerts, and also we're going to tell you how to freeze your credit. And you can do that absolutely free if you know the right steps. And we're going to tell you that, of course. And so look no further than the official homepage of the Kim Komando Show, which is KOMANDO.com. And when you're there, hit the link that says Kim Show right on the top. James in Addison, Texas. Hi, James.
Hello, my digital goddess. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thanks for asking.
This is so cool. I've been waiting for 18 years.
Oh.
I first heard you in Austin in 2003.
Wow.
I used to sneak away from my computer support job and go have an extra lunch period so I could listen to your show.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you, James. What's going on?
Well, I'm old school.
Okay.
And in school, I just got into grad school, and there's going to be a lot of writing, and I'm used to, when I'm writing my essays, reports, etc., I do it in longhand.
Okay.
And then I set it up next to my PC.
And you type.
And then I type it out, yes.
That is truly old school. I know I was
Yes.
expecting a typewriter, but I'm really glad at least we have a computer.
I do have a computer. The problem I have sometimes is I can't always read my writing.
Yeah, that's a problem.
And I'm also, I have a lot of digital, I don't have books this semester.
Right.
It's all cases and PDFs and monographs that they send to me.
And so what have you been looking at as an alternative?
Well, I've been looking at what's called the Remarkable 2.
Yes. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let me tell you, I'm old school. Is that if you come into a meeting with me, you'll see that I keep notes in are you ready for it? A composition pad. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I've tried everything over the years. I've tried Evernote, this whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I find that if I want to, I write down, this is what I got to get done on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I go to the next week. It's almost like a journal. So I thought to myself, I'm going to buy the Remarkable 2 because I'm remarkable. So I spent the money and I bought the Remarkable 2. Okay. I used it for me about 6 days.
Okay.
And I said, it's not for me. Okay. But,
all right.
And the reason why is because I couldn't figure out, it wasn't working with my calendar and I really didn't like it. Now, so I gave it to my husband who swears by it, loves it. Okay.
Okay.
And he is a guy like you that takes a lot of handwritten notes, because we're building a house, and so he draws on this, and then he has it imported in, and then he sends it as email, and he has to sign PDFs. You can read PDFs, you can read ebooks on this thing. So I think for you, I think it would be good when you buy the Remarkable. It's $400. Buy the pencil, the extra pencil that has the eraser. Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's $100 there. Now you don't have to go with the leather folio. That's $150. I know it's like, what? Okay, yes. Okay.
I've already looked for cheaper ones on Amazon. So yeah.
Yeah. So just buy everything you need from Remarkable. Now here's the deal: don't let 18 years pass again in our relationship. Okay, it's a long time. You've kept me waiting for too long. Okay. So when you get the Remarkable 2 and when you have a chance to look at it, I need you to call me back, okay? And let me know what you think about it. Let me know how you're using it. Let me know, because maybe I'm missing the boat on this and maybe I need to give it another shot, but I don't know if I could pry it away from Barry's hands right now because he totally... Oh, by the way, the battery in this thing lasts for years before you have to recharge it. Well, not years, probably a month before you even run out. It's got this beautiful screen that's almost like a Kindle screen. I think you're going to love it. James, thank you again for your call. Stay right where you are. More of the show's coming right up. Hey, thanks for watching a past episode of my national radio show. That's why it's called The Kim Komando Show Rewind. Now, to get the entire show, all 3 hours, when it airs live, or you can get on demand, head over to getkim.com and you can become a member of the Komando community. There are a ton of perks aside from just the show. You get free ebooks, a place to get answers to your tech questions, and more of me. So come on, what are you waiting for? Click that link right now and become a member. And thank you.